Hello viewers, well moving on now, it's time for a first look at the multiplayer mode. First of all is the presentation. The multiplayer aspects they go through in this presentation revolve around the Gymkhana arenas. It's worth noting as well that the Gymkhana arenas we've seen so far, or arena should I say, we're only seeing a small area of what will be a massive area in the final game. But I won't say any more, here's a bit more of that presentation.
So we had this really cool area, we've used it for Gymkhana, we've used it for Joyride. We wanted to take that forward and adjust it to the multiplayer. Traditionally, multiplayer in racing games is always just doing about who can get to the line first or who can do it in the quickest time. But we wanted to introduce something a bit new into racing games, and that's our party modes. These are the kind of more irreverent multiplayer modes that you can play with your friends, up to 8 of you online, where you're just all doing something different, taking a new slant on a racing game. So Paul's going to talk you through the individual modes, then we're going to show you the demo.
Cool, okay, so the first part mode we're going to talk about today is called Invasion. So the premise with Invasion is that a bunch of killer robots are coming and invading Battersea. They're actually cardboard cutouts, but don't worry about that. So the premise is you drive your car around and you smash these robots. There are also skyscrapers there, you don't want to hit those because they'll dock points from you. It's a simple premise, we reckon players will all be able to pick it up and get on with it pretty quickly, but it's great fun. You've got 8 people in there, you know, we have raucous fun in the studio playing for the moment, so we're really looking forward to seeing how the public reacts to it. Next up, we've got Transporter. Now, anyone who's played a capture the flag mode in a first-person shooter will be familiar with this game mode. The idea is you pick up a flag and drop it off at a base, but we move our flags and bases around, so they're always changing position. That means that you'll always be kept on your toes, there'll be no camping in this sort of game mode. Again, great fun to play as a team or as an individual. And last but not least, we've got our Outbreak game mode. So Outbreak is what some of the press have been recording as our zombie mode, but I'm here to sort of set the record straight. Actually, all the players start around, nobody knows what's happening, and then one guy will get an infection. He's got to start chasing all the survivors around and try and spread that infection as quickly as possible. Once you're infected, you'll then go and have to spread that infection as well. So, as the infected, you'll see where everyone else on the map is. As a survivor, you'll just be running scared. So you've just got to keep moving, keep finding those places to hide, and hope that you can survive the outbreak. So there's no better way to do it than demonstrate it. So we're going to get some of the dev team together here, and we're going to have a quick 2-minute game of Outbreak for you all to see.
Okay, so it's the first time it's ever been shown apart from our morning session. We're now going to go a little bit low tech. If I can invite the guys up on stage just to switch the monitors over. We've got various people from various parts of Codemasters who's going to play for us. As Paul said, we're going to do Outbreak. So everyone should be readied up. All we need is for A to kick us off.
So it's off to prepare the consoles for a bit of multiplayer action. We then had a bit of filling here by Christian Stevenson, who prepared some of the music for both Dirts 2 and 3.
I got a little Portuguese water dog. His name's Crosby. He's a brown fluffy thing. I got a 4-year-old son named Frazier. So we're on the couch. I'm doing some emails. I'm trying to entertain the kids, but also do some damn work. And my 4-year-old's like, Daddy, isn't Crosby so fluffy and cute? And I'm like, yes, the dog's fluffy and cute. And as I turn away to finish my email, Frazier goes, and his willy is the warmest bit. Get off the dog's willy, Frazier. All right, where we go.
Be glad to know his dog was in safe hands. But let's crack on with a bit more multiplayer action.
You can see we've got Ken Locke's Fiesta there, Hayes. Someone's gone for the Platinum Fiesta and Fretzer here and Evo here. What are you trying against, Paul?
I'm in the Evo 10.
Very nice. So as it loads, we just explain the game mode again to you. I'm going to step off the stage so you can all see what's happening. The cars are all going to start in a circle eventually, heading out, and then we'll drive off, and after 5 seconds one of the cars will become infected. You'll see one of the screens becomes green and the car itself goes green. It then essentially becomes a big game of tag. So it's the person essentially who survives the longest is the winner, or anyone who survives in 2 minutes. Right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Somebody places to hide, places to kit's already been caught. So it's 5 down, 3 to go. We've just about a minute left. 2, you've got surviving. I think it's Sean, Ben, that's 6 down. So 1 on the main strip, 1 on the left pillar there. So it should become increasingly difficult. It's 6 against 2, it's now 7 against 1. And that's it, game over.
Okay, so that was one of the multiplayer modes on offer there, good fun. Of course, next up we continue with the presentation. Christian Stevenson comes back on stage, welcomes on Chris Meek and Ken Block, and it's time for a bit of split screen action.
My name is Christian Stevenson. I've been working with Codemasters for the past couple of years. I did a soundtrack on Dirt 2, and I did some voice acting, and again in Dirt 3. Dirt 2 was a high-energy soundtrack, rock, indie, electro. This game is a bigger game altogether. With the addition of Gymkhana, we still got the rock. We've got big sounding bands like Alter Bridge, Furion, Biffy Clyro. We've got lots of really good indie stuff like Everything. And then we've got break beats. We've got Scott Nixon who wrote some bespoke stuff, one of the DC snowboarders. We've also got Phonak in there. So it's a big soundtrack and it's all relevant. And when you play the game, you'll feel. I'm going to say it right now, this soundtrack is the best soundtrack since Grand Theft Auto Vice City. It is that good. I know it's a big claim, but it's that good. I also do a lot of voice acting in the game. I play your PR manager, so I play a bit of a dick, which was pretty fun. Okay, a cocky PR agent. Not a dick. Hopefully not. Well, you guys tell me. All right, we're going to call up Ken and Chris up here. And Ken Brock, Chris Meek. There we are. We're welcome to the stage up. Ken Block's been driving all morning. He's had about a couple hours of sleep. So we're going to let Ken relax a bit. And we're going to put Chris Meek to the test. It's Chris Meek against Paul Coleman. Are you ready, Chris? You're going to go against Paul. You been practicing?
I've been practicing all day. I've got no car here to drive outside. Ken's been hooning around outside while I've been practicing. Damn you!
So Ken, you can just chill out. You're going to go against Paul, which is kind of tough because Paul's like the main game designer. He's been playing it for a year. But you can set it up. I want to give you guys some advice right now. I want you to go fast, take chances. Remember, you can't get hurt in the air, and speed is your friend. Remember that, you'll do really well in life.
That was good fun. I enjoyed it. I like to see some novel stuff. They're doing something with that area. It's not just Gymkhana, and I do like it when developers try something new. It's not just traditional driving. It's not a mode you even have to play. But I think up to date you've either done racing or you've done drifting. And I think for myself, I'm just not a drifter. I can't be bothered with drifting. I just want to go really fast. But at least with this, you've got drifting with a bit of style, with a bit of a purpose to it, essentially, in completing some of the tasks, and of course using the area for other bits and bobs as well. Here's a bit more multiplayer action.
Okay, so this is a look at the new invasion mode here. Hit robots, avoid the skyscrapers. One down there. See, it's competing with other players. So beating around the batsy section we've all seen before.
Okay, so player 7 is currently leading with 12 points, player 4 and 7 both on 12, I've got 9, along with player 6.
Oh, get the skyscraper there. We'll avoid those, of course, minus score. And this, of course, is a multiplayer session here, so you can see all the different screens, everyone competing. Quite a cool setup Codemasters got going here. Takes a bit getting used to the car handling as well, but once you get it, this is going to be a very, very competitive game. It's something different as well, you know, we don't normally have the driving games. All part of the fun factor of Dirt 3. Some creative ideas, nice to see.
So we've got 7 seconds to go. Is that great? Takes the lead for the first time.
So another clip there. Good fun actually. I had to go on it myself. Yeah, it was pretty entertaining actually. I think it's certainly something you can do if you want a short bash, play with your mates. There is a lot of fun to be had in there. So I do welcome ideas like this. Graphically, of course, it looks great. Not quite as smooth in multiplayer as it is in the single player mode, but you know, as I say, it's still an early version. Lots happening there. Really, now we just look forward to seeing more of the game and to seeing some of the other maps and seeing how it really comes together. Is it going to be like Mario Kart Battle mode? Does it have that potential? Well, we just don't know yet. It's something we'll have to test out later. But more videos to come, viewers. See you soon.